Coach Bricks.
Coach James.
And this is the Game Changers by Explosive Sports. Hey, so we wanted to talk about this week about a lot of parents out there are talking about, hey, I want my kid to work so hard, like so hard, I want him throwing up after a workout. Okay, first of all, that's stupid. And second of all, any fool off the street can make somebody else throw up. Not that hard to take somebody and say, hey, run this guy into the ground until they're done throwing up. So we got to get rid of that thought process, especially by a lot of males that I talk to, okay, a lot of dads. For some reason, they think that's a hardcore workout. And there are even some coaches out there and trainers that think that's what makes a good workout. That doesn't make a good workout at all. Actually, that makes a dumb workout, okay, to make somebody throw up. Because like I said, it doesn't take much. I can take my 10-year-old daughter and say, hey, this kid over here, go make him throw up. And she can just make him run up and down the hill, do all this other kind of stuff. That's not a good workout. Okay, so for some reason, we think that is. And a lot of parents are like that. And they won't bring their kid to me because I said, well, that's not how I think. Well, I'm going to take him to this other guy. I know he will do it. Well, then go to that other guy. That's fine. I don't have an issue with that because I'll never do that. I think it's dumb. Do I push an athlete? No question about it. I push them to where they need to go. But I also want them to progress. I want them to get better. Okay? Throwing up does not make a person better. Don't give me the mental toughness aspect of it. That's not mental toughness. And I'll talk about that in another video. But that's not mental toughness making a person throw up. I know a lot of coaches I've seen in videos, they post when their kids are throwing up, man, I made this kid do this. What are we doing? Like, seriously, what are we doing in society? If that's what parents are looking for, we are really lost. And I see why kids quit sports when they're 13, 14 years old. I won't want to play either. You know what I mean? I want to be pushed, but not to the point of throwing up and that's the reward or that's what my goal is. You know, some coaches are also about, it's only a good workout if he sweats. Sometimes not. You know what I mean? If you're progressing the correct way, that might not be a day of hardcore sweat. It might be a day of, hey, I'm in a recovery period and I'm trying to get better, but I got to know how to activate my body and stuff like that. So I think one of the biggest problems is that we're just misguided. You know, Coach James, what do you see with some of these athletes when it comes to, you know, being pushed? How far do they want to go? Are they under the impression that, hey, even some of the parents that you deal with, that they need to be pushed to that point as well?
So I think a lot of what I've seen is I'll see a lot of the kids come in and it's not just like saying coming in here, it's all their sports. They're going 5 days a week with whatever sport they might have in season, and outside of practice, they're told, hey, you got to go to the weight room 5 days a week. And it might not just be here. We have one athlete, they go to their own sport training, they'll do weightlifting, and he comes here, and then he still has outside practice outside of that. And you can tell the longer it goes on, the longer he's been coming in here this winter, especially, he's beat down. Their season hasn't even started yet, and he looks exhausted. So it's like getting to that point, it's like how far is too far, and you start to see it before a lot of these kids even get into the seasons that they're already breaking down, and you expect them to make it all the way into the postseason when halfway through the season they're injured. They're coming in with injuries, and it's not, again, just even the training aspect of going too hard with the training, it's just the over-training and overuse of doing too much in a week, doing too much in a day, and all those other aspects that go into it as well.
Yeah, and you're correct, and that's another point of it. You know, that's another part of it is that, you know, so many athletes are in their specialized sport, right? So they go to their practice, then they got to go to this coach for basketball, okay? Because you got to go to, you know, this coach to teach you how to shoot, dribble, and everything else, okay? And then you go to your weight room because your coach has you go to your weight room, and then you're also doing weights on top of that. That's where Coach James and I look at it, and we're like, all right, we got to tail this program back, tail it back. And then when we talk to him, we're like, listen, this isn't about beating you into the ground. Like I said, anybody can do that. Our job is to make sure that you're healthy and ready to go. If you're already beat up before the season starts, how productive are you going to be? And I think that's what parents have to understand and kids have to understand. Too much is too much. I can't lift biceps every day unless I'm on steroids. You know, it's just a fact. I can't do it. My body would break down eventually. Yes, I might be able to do it for a short period of time and it might look fine, but eventually my body's going to start to take the beating. It's just natural. That's how it is. That's why there's a thing called sleep and recovery. It's because the body needs that, and that's how it actually grows. It doesn't grow in the gym. You break it apart in the gym. You grow when you sleep. You grow when you eat. When you do those things, that's when you do it. But if I constantly am breaking it down, do all these activities and all these practices and all this other kind of stuff, I'm not going to grow and get better. So we have to change our thought process, especially parents, have to change their thought process when it comes to how an athlete is working, especially your son or daughter. I work my daughters out. I don't overkill them. I know when they have practices. I know when they're playing their other sports, when they got a couple sports going on. I know what I got to tailor that workout to, okay? We might do a 20-minute workout because I know they need to work on certain areas that they're deficient in, so that's what I hit. But that's what everybody should do. Every parent should be like, hey, listen, I'm going to bring my kid in. We talked about this in season.
Yep.
And I just want a 30-minute workout where they can still get in, work on their deficiencies, or if they have an issue, that we can mitigate it right away. That's what we should be discussing, not how bad I can beat a kid down, okay? Because it's not that hard to do. So with the whole overtraining part, overtraining comes in when we're not allowing our bodies to recover to the point where they need to get. If we start to see ourselves plateau, and especially if we start to regress, then we need to look at what are we doing? What do we need to change? And it's most likely I need to cut back, not stop workouts. That's the worst thing to do, especially in season. You never should stop. But cut back, and maybe I need more sleep. I need something more to eat. I'm not getting the nutritional values that I need. So that's the thing that we're talking about. Instead of beating a person down, okay, like everybody thinks that's a great workout, which doesn't constitute a great workout at all. We need to start changing how we think about it, how we progress a person. Remember, it's all about progressing. And this even goes for adults. If I'm progressing in my job, then I'm getting better. Once I become stale or start going down, then why am I still in that job? That's the time to move on, get out of there, or find something to actually reignite me to get better. And that's the same thing with working out. That's the same thing with Coach James and I do. Any final words on this topic, my man?
Only thing I can think of is just be smart about doing your programs. When you're in season, again, like Coach Bricks mentioned, coming in here especially, we're not here to beat you down in the season. If something's hard and you're like, hey, I'm sore, like coming in for a session, you're like, I hurt. Okay, what's hurting? What can we do to help you? Like you are your biggest advocate. So we have people just kind of a little off topic here with their injuries. They come in and we're like, how long has this been going on? It's a couple months now. You're just now telling us months later when we could have helped you those months ago and not have this problem, and now we're trying to catch up to where we're not having that problem anymore. So again, you're your biggest advocate. If something's wrong and you're dealing with something, you have to come to us and let us know that we can help you in whatever way we're able to. That's the only thing the biggest thing that I can say.
And we're going to talk about that whole thing about injuries and things like that on a whole other topic. And trust me, I could go on for hours upon hours about that whole thing. As much research as I've done, as much stuff that I've done with people, we'll get in that whole topic. But Coach James is right. You have to let people know of what's going on because that's understanding your body. And that's a key contributor. All right? So, hey, this is Coach Bricks.
Coach James.
And this is the Game Changers.